Welcome back to the deep dive, where we get into the most compelling whispers and the real groundbreaking stuff in tech, giving you the insights that actually matter.
Yeah, digging beyond the headlines.
Exactly. And today, oh boy, we're diving into something that has, well, basically the entire Apple world buzzing. Imagine a device. It feels almost mythical, right? Like something beamed back from the future.
It really does. It's that kind of bold thinking that
Yep.
gets you genuinely excited about where personal tech is headed. This isn't just, tweaking things. It's a fundamental rethink.
That's the perfect way to put it. We are talking about the rumored 20th anniversary iPhone. The name floating around is iPhone 20, maybe landing in 2027.
Right? The big 2-0.
And our mission today to really unpack this journey towards what sounds like a full glass body phone, like no cutouts, no bezels, zero. And how this all ties into Apple's, let's be honest, almost obsessive quest for that perfect seamless screen.
It's fascinating. We'll get into the code names, the patents, maybe even lift the lid a tiny bit on Apple's super secret prototype stages.
Yes. Because this rumored device, it feels like a culmination, doesn't it? Like years of design ideas coming together. It's not just a gadget, it's almost a statement.
It really is a statement about the future of interaction, maybe even making the tech itself kind of disappear.
Love that. Okay, so let's start with the name. iPhone 20. Why skip 19? What's the thinking there?
Well, the reporting, particularly from Mark Gurman at Bloomberg, who's, usually very plugged in, strongly suggests Apple might just leapfrog iPhone 19 altogether, straight to 20 in 2027.
Like they did with the iPhone X, skipping 9.
Exactly like that. Remember 2017, iPhone 8, and boom, iPhone X for the 10th anniversary. It wasn't just a number change. It signaled a massive redesign, a new direction.
Right, getting rid of the home button, Face ID, that was huge.
Totally. So iPhone 20 would do the same thing for the 20th anniversary. It flags this as a really significant transformative change. It's Apple saying, pay attention, this is different.
It definitely feels like a marker, a nod to the history for the longtime fans who watch for these big shifts. So if it's meant to be that big, maybe iPhone X on steroids, as Gurman put it. Does it have one of those cool internal code names?
It reportedly does. The codename being kicked around is Glasswing.
Glasswing. Okay, that definitely hints at something. Sleek, maybe all glass.
Precisely. That name itself points right at the core idea. All screen, no borders. Gurman calling it iPhone X on steroids really emphasizes that it's taking that first big leap, getting rid of the home button and pushing it way, way further.
Taking it to the logical extreme, maybe.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's more than just looks. It feels like a deeper philosophy shift for Apple. Pushing the physical device into the background so all you focus on is the content, the interaction, that idea of an invisible interface. Designers have dreamed about that for ages.
An invisible interface. Oh, I know. Okay, so this isn't just hardware then. The software, iOS, it would have to be totally different, right? I heard whispers about iOS 26 being built around this.
That's exactly right. Reports suggest iOS 26 is being developed specifically with this redesigned model in mind. Think about it, that implies a completely new software experience. How would gestures work? Notifications, app layouts, when there are literally zero physical borders or interruptions on the screen.
So the hardware and software have to be developed completely in tandem.
Absolutely, in lockstep. To deliver that seamless experience Apple is always aiming for. It's not just a new phone, it's a new way of using the phone.
Okay, that sets the stage perfectly. Let's get to the heart of it then, this full glass body, the Waterfall display. What does all screen, no cutouts, no bezels actually mean for us holding it?
Okay, this is like the ultimate dream for a lot of Apple fans, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a screen that doesn't just curve a bit on the sides. Imagine it flowing like a waterfall over all four edges, top, bottom, left, right.
Whoa. So no metal frame visible from the front at all.
That seems to be the idea, completely eliminating the traditional bezels. And crucially, no cutouts, no notch, no dynamic island, not even a pinhole for the camera, just screen. A truly uninterrupted view for the first time.
Okay, hold on. No camera hole. Where does the front camera go? And Face ID, how does that work?
That's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? This is where the really cutting-edge tech comes in. We're talking under-display Face ID sensors and an under-display front camera.
Hiding them under the pixels.
Exactly. Hiding all those sensors in the camera beneath the actual screen array. The massive challenge isn't just hiding them, it's making sure they still work properly. You can't compromise Face ID security or, have terrible selfie quality.
Right.
So if Apple actually pulls this off effectively, it's a huge testament to their skills in optics, miniaturization, sensor tech. making the screen totally immersive without losing key features.
That really is an engineering feat. And physically, how do they even make a display bend over all four edges like that? That sounds fragile.
Well, reports, particularly from ET News in South Korea, suggest Apple is deep into exploring something called four-edge bending, OLED technology.
Four-edge bending. Okay.
Yeah, it's not just a gentle curve. It's about physically shaping the flexible OLED panel itself around all four sides to get that completely borderless look. It's a massive step up in display manufacturing, pushing flexible OLEDs to their absolute limit.
It's wild how long Apple seems to have been thinking about this, though. I feel like the idea of an all-glass iPhone has been floating around for ages. Patents, maybe?
Oh, for years. You're absolutely right. Apple actually filed a patent application detailing glass body construction way back in 2014. It was published in 2016.
2014, wow.
Yeah. And that patent talked about how a glass enclosure could improve things like water resistance, antenna performance, because glass doesn't block signals like metal can, and even scratch resistance.
So this Glasswing idea isn't just some sudden brainstorm.
Not at all. It feels like the culmination of, well, over a decade of internal R&D. Slowly, piece by piece, moving towards this vision of a device that feels like a single polished piece of glass. That pure, uninterrupted screen.
It really puts the journey into perspective. From the original iPhone to this potential glass wing.
Right.
Let's maybe trace that evolution a bit and also peek behind the curtain at how Apple actually builds something this ambitious.
Definitely. If you look at the big picture, the path to all-screen really kicked off with the iPhone X in 2017. That was the first big move, ditching the home button, bringing in Face ID, and yes, the notch.
The notch. Divisive at first, but it pushed the screen closer to the edges.
Right. Then fast forward to the iPhone 14 Pro, and the notch evolves into the dynamic island. Apple cleverly turned a hardware necessity into this interactive software feature.
Yeah, that was a smart pivot.
And now, the next logical step seems to be getting rid of any black cutout, just pure display. Ultimate seamlessness.
It's like this constant refinement. But, okay, how does Apple go from a concept like Glasswing or a patent from 2014 to an actual phone you can buy?
Yeah.
What are those secretive development stages really like?
It's incredibly rigorous. Not just sketching and building. It's a complex, multi-stage process. Really detailed.
Does it start with just like physical models, things you can hold?
Pretty much. They start with design mock-ups. These often aren't functional at all, just the casing. Maybe made of different materials initially, like early plastic mock-ups, before settling on aluminum and glass. It's all about nailing the look and feel, the ergonomics.
Okay, so they get the shape right, then they start breaking it.
Basically. Next up are the drop test stages. Here, they take the core structural bits, the frame, the glass, and really put them through the ringer. Durability tests, water resistance tests, often using dummy parts inside.
And the results feed back into the design.
Directly. If something fails, they have to tweak the design, maybe reinforce certain areas, change materials. It ensures the final phone can actually survive being dropped,
Makes sense. When does it actually start working like a phone?
That's the prototype stage, often called Proto 1, Proto 2, etc. This is the first time they try to build fully functional units. They can still look pretty rough, might run very basic internal software, sometimes called non-UI iOS, just focused on testing if the core components, the chips, the sensors, actually work together.
So they might look quite different from the final product.
Oh, absolutely. And this is where they validate the fundamental engineering choices.
Is this where features might get tested and maybe even cut? Like those rumored solid-state buttons for the iPhone 15 Pro?
Exactly. That leads into the next big phase, EVT, or engineering validation testing. This stage has multiple substages, and it's all about perfecting the hardware. And yes, this is where experimental features, like the haptic buttons codenamed Project Bongo, get put through intense testing.
Ah, Project Bongo. I remember that leak.
Right. And sometimes, like with Bongo, features tested in EVT don't make the final cut. Maybe they're too complex to manufacture reliably, or too expensive, or just don't meet Apple's quality bar. EVT is a critical filter. These units still run that non-UI software usually.
Okay, so EVT irons out the hardware kinks. What's next?
After EVT, you get DVT, which stands for Design Validation Testing. Now, they're ensuring the hardware works and the design is manufacturable at scale. DVT units look very close to the final product.
Is this when they send units out for approvals?
Yes, this is typically when devices go to regulatory bodies like the FCC and also to carriers for network testing. Those are sometimes called CRB units running a special carrier OS. DVT units are often development fused, meaning engineers have easier access for debugging.
Okay, getting really close now. What's the final step before it hits the assembly lines?
That's PVT, or production validation testing. The design is locked. These units are basically identical to what you'll buy. The whole focus here is on refining the manufacturing process, making sure they can build millions of them perfectly. Sometimes software engineers get PVT units running internal UI, iOS, with upcoming features for testing.
And then mass production.
Then it's MP, mass production, final assembly, final quality control checks, often using non-UI iOS again, then loading the public release iOS, boxing them up, and shipping them out.
Wow, that is a journey. It really makes you appreciate the complexity behind even seemingly small design changes, and it explains why these really revolutionary leaps take time.
It absolutely does. It shows the sheer amount of engineering, testing, and refinement involved. Nothing gets released by chance.
Okay, so for a device like the iPhone 20, pushing boundaries like that, they'll need some serious supporting tech too. Let's talk power. Battery life is always huge. How do you power a super thin, all glass, all screen phone?
Yeah, battery tech is going to be absolutely critical. The rumors here are pretty exciting, pointing towards a major shift. Maybe solid-state batteries or something called pure silicon battery technology.
A silicon, what's that?
The leaks talk about using 100% silicon for the anode instead of the graphite used in current lithium-ion batteries. Theoretically, this offers much higher energy density, meaning longer battery life in the same space, or maybe even a thinner battery. Plus, potentially slower degradation and faster charging.
That sounds like a game changer, especially if the design is getting thinner.
It really could be. For a device pushing aesthetic boundaries like Glasswing, a breakthrough in battery density and efficiency isn't just nice to have, it's almost essential.
So better battery. But it'll also need serious brains, right?
Yeah.
Especially with AI becoming such a big focus.
Definitely. You could expect major performance upgrades. There's talk about using high bandwidth memory, HBM.
HBM, like in high-end graphics cards.
Sort of, yeah. Bringing that kind of memory bandwidth to mobile could unlock really powerful on-device AI features. Think real-time translation happening instantly on your phone, super complex photo and video editing without lag, much richer AR experiences, all processed locally, privately.
So the phone itself becomes much more intelligent.
That's the idea. A next-gen processor combined with something like HBM could handle incredibly complex tasks right there in your hand. A new level of personal AI.
That's a seriously futuristic package. But interestingly, Gurman also mentioned another potential future iPhone, possibly arriving even before this 20th anniversary model, right? Something.
Multiple.
He did, yeah. Gurman's reporting suggests a foldable iPhone might actually launch by the end of 2026. So before the rumored 2027 release of the iPhone 20.
Interesting. So two potentially revolutionary designs in development. It looks like it. It suggests Apple might be exploring multiple paths for the future of the iPhone simultaneously. The foldable could cater to people wanting that larger tablet-like screen that folds down, while the Glasswing iPhone 20 aims for that ultimate, pure, monolithic slab experience.
A multi-pronged attack on the future, then.
Seems that way. Hedging bets, maybe? Or just recognizing different users want different things from a futuristic device.
Well, that brings us towards the end of this deep dive. It's genuinely exciting to think about where Apple might be heading with this iPhone 20 concept.
Absolutely. The iPhone 20, potentially codenamed Glasswing, feels like it could be truly transformative. That vision full glass body, zero cutouts, zero bezels, powered by under-display tech, and that four-edge bending OLED.
Yeah.
It's the result of years chasing that seamless screen dream.
And you add in the potential for breakthrough battery tech like pure silicon, plus next-gen AI performance with things like HBM. It really feels like it could live up to being an anniversary leap.
It does. It's not just an iteration. It feels like a redefinition. Following that path from the iPhone X through the dynamic island, now potentially to complete screen purity.
And understanding those incredibly detailed prototype stages, EVT, DVT, PVT, really highlights the enormous effort required to boss such a vision to life. It's not just design, it's hardcore engineering.
Precisely. Pushing boundaries doesn't happen overnight.
So here's something to think about as we wrap up. As the phone itself, the physical object, potentially gets closer to near invisibility with this kind of full glass, completely uninterrupted screen, what does that truly seamless experience mean for how you interact with your digital life? How might it subtly, or maybe not so subtly, change your relationship with the actual device in your hand?